So make yourself comfy. We'll be here for a couple of minutes. So just come down onto your back. You could have the knees bent. You could have the legs extended. If you've got a bolster, you could have it behind the knees. So take your time. And then when you feel that you are starting to get into a comfortable position, nice deep breath in through the nose and just sigh it out of the mouth. And one more like that. So just allowing yourself to start to. You might close the eyes, you might soften the gaze, you might pop your eye pillow on, up to you, as is everything. So of course I'm here to guide you, but you decide what feels best for you. So sometimes in the morning, people like me feel a little bit more tired and it takes them longer to wake up. Other people might feel a little bit more energized and like they want a bit of a challenge. If you have any niggles, any sensitivities, any injuries, then just be mindful of those. You don't need to be fearful of them, but just be mindful of where they are and how they feel. Same as your energy levels and just everything throughout the class. If something doesn't feel quite right for whatever reason, then you are more than welcome to take a different option or take a seat or lie down and just a little moment of pause. So bring in awareness to your breath. And that might be placing your hands on the body where you can feel the breath. That might be just placing your mental awareness on the body where you can feel the breath. And if we can, we want to try and breathe in through the nose. And you could breathe out through the nose, which will generate a little bit of internal and external heat. Or you could breathe out through just a really thin gap in the lips. And your breath will, of course, change as we start to move a little bit. This is slow flow, so, I'm going to be moving nice and slowly. But if at any point you feel like you're kind of struggling to catch your breath, or you notice that you've held your breath, really common imbalance, then maybe just take one of those deep breaths that we started with. So a nice deep breath in and a sigh out, and that can kind of be like a reset button. Our breath in flow practices is generally similar length inhale to exhale. So that helps to keep the balance and the steadiness. So just feel into your breath. Is it a similar length, a similar depth on the breath in and out? And as you breathe in, there's a sense of expansion that happens. As you breathe out, a sense of softening. Let's bring awareness then to the physical body. So perhaps taking a little scan of your body from head to toe. Oh. And then an awareness to the mind. So just having a little check-in, how are you feeling this morning? And remembering that, you don't have to feel great to come and practice yoga. Often you feel a bit rubbish and you come and practice and maybe leave feeling a little bit lighter. So just acknowledge yourself as you are. And something that can help you to stay nice and present in your practice is to have a word or an intention. That can be nice to start the week with as well. So maybe there is a quality that you would like to bring more of into your week. It might be peace, might be rest, might be having a sense of presence. And you can remind yourself of that whenever you need to throughout your practice, and of course, off the mat as well. Just starting to bring some movement into your face. Just having a wiggle of the face, checking that you're not clenching the teeth. And then rolling on the back of the head from side to side, just nice and slowly. So we start to awaken down into the neck. Nothing should feel like we're kind of pushing or pulling or straining. Bring your head back to where you feel is neutral. And let's start to move into the fingertips, maybe have a roll of the wrists. And then as you breathe in, sweeping the fingertips up towards the sky. And as you breathe out, bringing the arms down by the side of you. Just take two more like that. And let's place the soles of the feet down onto the ground. So if you've got a bolster, you might just kick it away to the bottom of your mat. Bring the heels a little bit into your seat. We'll have the feet about hip distance. As you breathe in, push into the balls of the feet, lift the heels away from the air. And then as you breathe out, place the heels back down. Two more like that, just with your breath. And then we'll go the opposite way. So as we inhale, we press into the heels, lift and splay the toes out nice and wide. And as we exhale, we pop the sole of the foot down. Two more just with your breath. And then we keep the toes spread as we can onto the earth. Back of the head is on the earth, but the chin is a little bit tucked into the chest. So we've got a nice long spine and neck. Push down through your feet. As you inhale, start to lift the hips to the sky. Peel the spine away from the earth. As you exhale, just slowly rolling that back down. And again, two more just with your own breath. So just warming up at the moment. After that last one, but no rush, keep your knees bent, step your feet out to the width of your mat, let your knees knock in, and just sweep the arms out a little bit wider. If we turn the backs of the hands to the earth, that just helps us to open up into the chest. Nice deep breath in with the knees at center. Then as you breathe out, just rocking the knees over to the right side of your body. Try and just let them fall as they do. We'll take a breath there. Next breath in, we rock them back to center. And as we breathe out, over to the other side. And then just take one more of each side in your own breath. Eventually, we'll meet back at center. So if you feel that your energy levels are a little bit lower at the moment, then you could roll to the right, push into the earth and come up to a seat. If you feel ready to, you could bring the knees in towards you, catch hold of the backs of the thighs and just start to roll up and down the spine. Take maybe 2 or 3 rolls and then eventually come up to a seated position. So we'll sit in Sukhasana if that feels okay with the legs crossed. If it doesn't, then you can find another way. You can always sit on your flat block or your blanket just to give you a little bit of lift. Take a nice deep breath in. We'll sweep the hands up towards the sky, join the palms. As we breathe out, we come to the heart. 2 more just with your own. Just maintain a nice tall spine as we breathe in, fingertips to sky. As we breathe out, turn to your right hand side, just sweep the arms open for space and then settle them down. So right hand behind, left hand in front or on the body. Just pushing down through that back hand, lifting nice and tall. And as you exhale, coaxing that right shoulder round into a seated twist. And we just pause to take in the shape, to be with the breath. As you feel your next inhale come in, start from the head, turn through the body, sweep the hands up to the sky, and as you exhale over to the left. Same thing here, we breathe in, just find some nice length and space, and as we breathe out, just settle into our twist. When the inhale comes, we'll sweep back to center, turn the palms towards me. And as you exhale, keep the bum on the earth, just folding forwards. Breath in, and we just lift the head and heart to find a little bit of space. And then as we breathe out, relax the palms, let the spine round, let your head be nice and heavy. And again, we just pause. To take it into a little side stretch, we're going to start to walk the hands over to the right side of the body, just as far around as you feel comfortable. You might place left hand on top of right. We come all the way back through center, take it over to the left, and you might place right hand on top of left. Back to center, and nice and slowly just unfurling out of our fold and taking a couple of rolls of the shoulders. And then we'll find our way onto our hands and knees. So you can roll over your knees or you can drop your knees to the side. It's up to you. If you need to support your knees, just lay your blanket out underneath your knees. So we'll find our way into tabletop, spread hands, maybe shoulders a little bit behind the wrists, hips and knees might be in line. I'm just going to start swaying the hips from side to side to begin with. You might let your head be heavy, and we just let the rest of the body kind of flow as the hips move. Just maintaining that steady breath. We'll start to take it into circles. So as we inhale, we're coming up towards one wrist, just leaning over the wrist to the other. Exhale, we sweep the bum down past the heels. So a nice way to just mobilize into the wrist a little bit that doesn't feel too intense. Pause where you are. We're going to circle in the opposite direction, but still with that breath of inhaling to come forwards, exhaling to sweep back. And then bring yourself into a neutral spine position. So the neck is nice and long at this point. Then as we breathe in, belly drops down, heart opens gently forward, chin lifts. Exhale, we push into the earth with the hands, arch the spine and look to the heart, cat and cow. 2 more, just with your breath. Let's slide the knees wider, turn the big toes towards each other, walk the bum back and nuzzle it into the heels. Take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're sliding the arms forward. The forehead might meet the earth, or instead the forehead might meet your blanket or a block. And if it feels like we're a bit tight with the shoulders around the ears, we'll just take the arms wider, so just as wide as the mat or even wider still. Nice deep breath in and breath out. So just a little moment to pause. And it's in these moments of pause that you might take one of those conscious deeper breaths. So just like a reset button. Just maintain a gentle awareness on your practice. So distraction will come and go, of course. Let's bring ourselves back into tabletop. Knees come together and we sit the bum back onto the heels. As we inhale, we lift the bum, sweep the hands up to the sky, join the palms. Exhale down through the heart, sit the seat down. 2 more, just with your breath. I'm going to add a little bit onto it. So we'll breathe in, same way. As we breathe out, palms turn forwards, we plant the hands. Inhale, we're scooping under to come into our cow position. Exhale into cat. Inhale, we sweep back up, join the palms. Exhale, seat down. Let's go again. Breathe in. Out to the earth. Inhale to scoop under. Exhale. Breathing in, rising up. And breathing out, sitting back down. Just take one more with your breath. Nice. Let's come back into our tabletop position, knees spread, tucking the toes onto the mat and pushing the seat back to the heels. So first we'll get a nice stretch through the feet. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, we lift the knees. Bum actively pushes back and up to the sky as we find downward facing dog. So adjust your feet if you need some adjustment rather than the hands. We'll go hip distance with the feet. If it feels very tight in your spine or in your legs, you might go wider. You might have a little bit of movement here, a sway of the hips, a bend of the knees, or you might prefer just to focus on the shape and your breath and be still. Let's start to walk the feet slowly to the backs of the wrists. So the knees bend. And we come into a forward fold position. As we inhale, we're going to slide the hands up towards the shins, flatten the back, lengthen the arms and legs. And as we exhale, we bend the knees. Let the torso be heavy as you dangle down in your fold position. And you might have a little sway or a shake out of the arms. We'll lift the head up first. Push through the feet as you inhale. Sweep the hands to the sky. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the heart. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Let's release the arms, just roll the shoulders back, palms forward. You might close the eyes or just soften the gaze to the earth. Could be time for a conscious breath if it feels right. Let the face soften, the shoulders. Lower body is nice and active, so it feels strong as we are in Tadasana. Let's blink the eyes open. Just make sure you're towards the top of your mat. We breathe in, sweep the hands up, join the palms. As we breathe out, the hands pass through the heart while we bend the knees and the fingertips come towards the ground. Inhale halfway. Exhale, just dangling down into your fold. Let the fingertips or palms touch the earth, so bend the knees as much as you need to. And we're going to step the right foot back nice and long, then the left foot to meet it, and we find ourselves in plank. So it could be plank with the knees lifted, it could be plank with the knees down, just behind the hips. The neck stays long, the spine is long. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, push the bum to the sky, reposition feet rather than hands. You find yourself back in downward facing dog. Walking, stepping, jumping the toes towards the backs of the ribs. We take that breath in to come halfway. Body feels long and strong. We breathe out into softness of our forward fold. And as we inhale head first, we slowly rise up. If you need more than one big inhale, then go for it. Palms join. Exhale to the heart. Take a breath in here. And we breathe out. We're back in Tadasana. You might reclose the eyes. Take a conscious breath. Blinking the eyes open, we'll go again. Inhaling, sweeping into upward salute. Exhale through the heart, soft knees, fingertips to earth. Breathe in halfway. Breathing out to forward fold. Fingertips or palms down. And take a breath in that prepares us. And as we breathe out, left foot strides back, then right to meet. Into our plank, whatever version we wish. Inhale when it's there. Exhale, bum to sky. Just the feet if we need to. Just settling ourselves into downward dog. Toes come to backs of wrists. Next inhale breath that comes, we slide up halfway. Exhale, we forward fold. And as we inhale, we start to rise upwards. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath in there, and breathing out, we're back to Tadasana. Inhale, hands to sky. Exhale, down through the heart. Breathing in halfway. Breathing out to forward fold. And again, fingertips or palms down. Nice deep breath in prepares us. As we breathe out, we stride the right foot back long. So we find ourselves in our runner's lunge position. We can always use blocks under the hands. So of course, everyone's anatomy is a little bit different. You might find that blocks work better. Next, exhale breath. We'll drop that back knee down and just uncurl the toes. As you inhale, you might choose to stay as you are or push through that front foot and start to make your way up into Anjaneyasana, into our lunge. So any option that feels right with the hands. And we'll pause here. As the exhale breath comes, hands back down to the ground. Inhale, we lift that back knee. Exhale, we step forwards. Breathing in halfway. Out into our forward fold. And then rising upwards. Exhaling, hands to heart. Breathe in here. And breathe out to release. Inhale. Exhale through the body. Breath in halfway. Breath out, fold. Inhale prepares you. Exhale, we stride that left foot back. So as long as feels comfortable, just spending a moment in our runner's lunge. Neck is nice and long. Exhale, we pop that back knee down, uncurl the toes, and the next breath in, we're just making our way up into our version of lunge. So fixing your gaze forwards, or it might be slightly up. Exhale, bringing the hands down to the ground. Take an inhale, lift back knee. Exhale, step to plank. Tricked you. Let's pop the knees down onto the ground. Knees are a little bit behind the line of the hips. Feet are uncurled. As we breathe in, we're going to shift our shoulders forward slightly ahead of the wrists. We breathe out, we're bending the elbows and lowering ourselves down as we slide the back body back. And squeeze the sides of the body in the arms. Breathing in, we start to roll the shoulders back and lift the heart. And you might have a little wiggle just to lift the hips, depends on lower back. Exhale, seat to heels. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, bum to sky, downward facing dog. Adjusting your feet again rather than your hands. We're going to take 5 breaths here. So it's a real kind of full body position. If you have counted yourself 5 breaths, then just drop to the knees. Let's all come to the knees. Take them wider. Turn the big toes towards each other. Nuzzle the bum back to the heels. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, slide the torso forwards. Releasing the forehead towards the ground. Maybe a conscious breath. If child's pose isn't comfy, because it seems to be a myth that like, oh, it's the comfiest position for everyone. But if it isn't, then maybe you just sit back on your heels, or maybe you come into a seat. It's up to you. Taking that moment here again to just pause. Just try and maintain a gentle awareness within your practice. If you notice the mind's just starting to wander away, that is fine. That's, the nature of the mind. But we just go, okay, I'm here. This is my time. Let me just focus on that. Let's unroll and meet back in our tabletop position. Just take your time. We start to sway the hips from side to side. You might notice there's a little bit more freedom there than perhaps in the morning, right at the beginning when we start our practice. Taking it into our circles, just over the wrists, back into the heels. If your feet feel like they need a good stretch out, tuck the toes, and then as you sweep the bum back, you'll get a stretch into your feet. Can be the case when we move into autumn, winter, more likely to be wearing socks. Pause and take your circles in the opposite direction. Tops of the feet down, neutral spine. As we breathe in, let the belly drop and open the heart. As we breathe out, spine to sky, chin to chest. 2 more just with your breath. Tuck in the toes, pushing the seat back to the heels. Breath in, the breath out leads you into downward facing dog. Just taking a moment there and then bringing the toes to the backs of the wrists. However you make it there is fine. Could be one big step or loads of little ones. We've been here before. As we inhale, we're sliding up halfway, strengthening the body. As we exhale, that little bit of softness. Breathing in, head rises first, as many breaths as you need. Eventually, as we inhale, we sweep the palms up. We exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath in there. And as we breathe out, we're back to mountain pose. So we'll bring the hands onto hips or waist again. Just make sure you're towards the top of your mat. Nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, step that right foot back. So naturally, your body will want to not allow you to fall over. So the toes will turn to the long edge. Take your left foot out nice and wide. Literally take hold of the hips and turn them towards me. Bending into that left knee. We could keep the hands where they are. We might come to the heart. We might lift to the sky. We're in our warrior one position. A little bit of softness to the shoulders. If we feel like we're really tight, we'll just take the arms wider to loosen the shoulders. Let's bring the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, push the palms together. And as we breathe in, we're going to draw that clasp down to the back heel. So we feel like we squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the heart. When you feel your breath out come, we're starting to fall forwards and maybe lift that clasp to the sky. So many of us have really tight shoulders. If you can push the palms together, still go for it. If that feels like, good Lord, then release them. And we'll try and keep our hips and our shoulders nice and square. Yeah, lovely. So a humble warrior position. As we inhale, we start to rise back up, release the hands, sweep them to the sky. As we exhale, we'll bring in the palms or fingertips down to the ground. Inhale to turn and lift that back heel. You might reposition the foot. Next exhale, front foot steps back. You find plank. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, knees pop down to the ground. Little bit behind the hips. Tops of the feet are down. We inhale to shift the weight forward slightly. We exhale to come down to the earth. Slide the legs back. Breathing in, rolling the shoulders up, maybe having a little wiggle into our back bend. Breathing out, seat to heels. Breath in, breath out, bum to sky. We're back in downward dog. It could always be tabletop, you know, if you feel like I've done a bit too many downward dogs, tabletop is fine. Bring in the toes towards the backs of the wrists, however we make it there. Inhale, halfway. Exhaling into our folds. Pushing through the feet, lifting ourselves up as we breathe in to upward salute. Breathe out to the heart. Take a breath in. And breathing out to release. Hands come back onto hips or waist. Nice deep breath in. As we breathe out, we step that left foot back. Repositioning the right foot if we need to. Hold the hips, turn them forwards, right knee is bent. And taking your version of your warrior. Hands come behind the back. We might just switch the interlace a little bit so they're a bit less habitual. So it could be opposite cross of thumb, or we could take the fingers down. Nice deep breath in. We draw the clasp to that back heel. As we breathe out, we're bringing the body down. Just nicely squaring off. Steady breath. As we inhale, we start to release the clasp. We rise back up into our warrior one. And as we exhale, we bring the hands down. Inhale to turn and lift that back heel. Exhale to step into plank. And you can either stick with the version that I've been talking you through of dropping the knees, or if you have your own kind of well-practiced vinyasa, then go with that instead. So just slowly coming down, bringing yourself up into your back bend. And then you could come through that child's pose position and lift up, or you could roll straight over the toes and push the bum to the sky. Nice deep breath when you get there. Let's bring the knees down to the earth, take them wider. Nuzzle the bum back into the heels, breathe in, and as you breathe out, slide the torso forwards. And we're back in our child's pose, maybe a conscious breath. Oh, just let the body settle. Maybe the eyes are closed, nothing to see with the forehead to the air. Oh. And slowly start to unroll back into your tabletop position. We start with that sway of the hips. And then you could go into circles or maybe a figure of 8. So we sweep up to one wrist, over to the other, down to the opposite heel, sweep back up and round. So perhaps a couple of those. And then come into neutral. As we inhale, belly drops, heart opens. Exhale, spine to sky, look to the heart. 2 more. After that third one, we tuck the toes, seat to heels. Just take your time, breathing in, breathing out into downward dog. Toes come to backs of wrists. Our inhale guides us halfway. Our exhale into our forward fold. Rising up, we lift the hands on the breath in. Breath out to the heart. Inhale here. Exhale, let's find Tadasana for one little moment. Hands come to hips or waists. Nice deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to open that right side and step wide. So to the long edge of the mat. Yeah, lovely. Left knee bends, hips are turned nicely open. And we could keep the hands on the hips or we could sweep the arms out. Gazing down our front fingertips. Warrior two. Let's inhale, lengthen that front knee, sweep the hands to the sky during the palms. Exhale, bend the knee, arms wide, we're back in warrior two. Two more like that, just with your breath. Pause in for a moment. And as we exhale, we sweep the hands towards that front foot. We'll feel the need to turn and lift that back heel into our lunge position. And from here, we're going to bring the hands forwards a little bit and come right onto the tip of the back toe. So you might want to use blocks. I would say the lowest or mid-level rather than the highest level. We tip the weight forwards, so shoulders are over wrists, and we're lifting that back leg maybe away from the earth, flexing the foot. So a version of our warrior three. If you wish, you could extend the left fingertips forwards. If you want to give yourself a little bit of a challenge, you might extend the right fingertips forwards and just lift the torso ever so slightly. Gaze is down, but ahead. So if we gaze like down, down, then that will be the direction the body will want to follow. It's tricky, but stay with that steady breath. Let's start to bring the hands back down to the earth. Step that back foot back. We're in runner's lunge. Take a breath in as you breathe out. Front foot steps back to plank. Your version of a vinyasa, and a vinyasa can even be just a cat and cow or a couple of cat and cows. Coming back through active child's pose or just flipping over the toes into downward facing dog. Just take your time. Re-establish your breath when you get back into your down dog. And the toes come back towards the wrists. Once we're there, the breath in guides us halfway. The breath out into our forward fold. Push through the feet, rising up. We inhale to upward salute. Exhale to the heart. Take a breath in there. Breathe out. Just a moment in Tadasana. So the last little bit of our standing sequence. We'll bring the hands back into hips or waists. Just going to help with our balance a little bit. Breath in to prepare us as we breathe out. That left foot opens wide. We step long down the mat. Right knee bends, hips are open. We sweep the arms wide, just gazing down the front fingertips. As we inhale, we're lengthening through the legs, sweep the hands to the sky. Exhale back into our warrior. 2 more, just with your breath. And then a moment just to resettle. As we exhale, sweeping the hands towards that top foot, turn and lift the back heel. We take the hands a little bit ahead so that we can lift that back foot and shoulders roughly align with wrists. That gives us a little bit of strength. Using the blocks, maybe we reach the right fingertips forwards. So as much as we reach forwards, if we push back with that heel, we kind of find almost a little bit of balance through the center of the body. Lift the other arm if you wish, torso lift slightly. That takes us into our warrior 3. We can always tap that back foot down if we need to. Nice steady breath. As we exhale, let's pop the hands down and pop that back foot down, runners lunge. Inhale to prepare, exhale, step back into your last plank. Slowly through your last vinyasa, into your last downward facing dog, or if you're really like too many, then just pop yourself into child's pose if you prefer. Knees down, take them wider, bum to heels, slide the front body forwards, rest the forehead, and take a nice deep breath. Well done. Let's walk the hands back in towards you, just rising upwards. And come onto your bum. We'll slide the legs forwards. So again, you can always pop, probably the blanket is best for this one, just under the very edge of your bum. If you feel like your spine, lower spine rounds back and the hips come back, that can just help us to tilt and lift forwards. We're going to step the right foot in as close as we can towards us. If that means we take the left leg wider, then so be it. We'll take a hold of the shin, just sit nice and tall, flex the left foot. So this could be where we stay. Or you might inhale, raise the right fingertips up towards the sky. As you exhale, feel that the foot pushes away as you start to turn into your twist. Backhand is a prop rather than a lean. We breathe in to sit tall. And as we breathe out, we're turning the heart into that right thigh. Keeping a little flex to our left foot. Nice deep breath in the twist. We lead from the head to come out as we exhale through center and just take the left hand behind as we do rotate. Coming back to center, slide that right leg away, stepping the left foot in, sitting tall, flexing the right foot, just taking a moment with our posture. Stay there or inhale, left fingertips rise. Exhale, we're turning into our twist. Breathe in, sit tall. Breathing out, just rolling the heart round to the left. Breath in the twist. Breath out. We rotate through center and open to the opposite side. Let's come all the way back to center. And we're going to come down onto our back. So have a sip of your drink if you've got one. And just slowly bring yourself down onto the back body. Let's keep a bend in the knees. So that way the spine, all of the spine right to the tailbone can just relax onto the mat. Maybe turn the backs of the hands to the earth and slide the arms a little bit wider. Then we'll let the knees just open out and bring the soles of the feet together. Chin is tucked to chest. We find, depending on where your feet are really, so one is butterfly when your heels are a little bit away from your seat. The other is Baddha Konasana when your heels are slightly closer. So one is more angular. You go where you feel comfy. You might close the eyes. We'll just start to blink slowly. And maybe you stay here for a few more breaths if that feels right. If there is another shape or just a stretch or a little wiggle that you feel is right to end your practice, then go for that. Using the hands on the edges of the thighs, we'll just push the knees back together, draw them in towards the chest, and have a gentle roll on the back of the body. And then pop the feet down to the earth. You could take the feet wider, let the knees knock in. You like the feeling of the spine being completely down, or you could slide the legs long if that feels more relaxing. You can even roll onto your side if you prefer. So, again, Shavasana relaxation is about where you feel comfortable. And I do encourage you to close your eyes, but also that's an invitation. So if it doesn't feel right, maybe you just kind of have a sleepy gaze or just gaze to the tip of the nose. And let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose and just sigh it out of the mouth. Another one like that. Let your body soften as you exhale. So take in a couple of minutes of well-deserved rest. We don't take too long in morning Shavasana. It can be quite bad for our sleep cycle if we doze back off. But if you do doze off, that will wake you up. And you might just follow the gentle ebb and flow of your breath or the softening of your body. Or if you had a word or intention or one has now come, you could just cast your mind there. So you just let everything settle, integrate. This is where really the movement works its magic. Going to bring awareness back to breath. Oh, back to body. As you might have a little wiggle or a stretch, a little roll around. And then let's bend the knees and just start to extend through the legs gently. Toes come to the sky. We'll lift the fingertips up to the sky and we'll just have a little shake out of the body, the arms and legs. So just getting a little bit of energy back into the body. Pop the arms and feet down, rolling over to your right. Take a little pause there. And bring yourself up to a seat. We're going to take just a very short concentration practice before we rush on out into our week. So find a comfortable position, somewhere where the spine can be tall, but we're not rigid. Face and shoulders are soft. Maybe close the eyes or just look to the And you could always join your thumb and finger together. So that can just be a little point of focus if you need one. So just a touch of the fingertips. I'm just going to take 1 minute here. And you might place the hands on the heart space. You might gently press the palms together in Namaskar. And we just take a little moment to thank ourselves, a moment to thank each other. And thank you very much for joining me, for trusting me. Hope you have a lovely week filled with whatever you need. The light and dark in me honors the light and dark. Namaste.